Fire at sea, flames erupting on a boat off the North County coast. After months of hosting migrant children, the makeshift shelter at the convention center ending operations. What's happened to the kids who have passed through the facility and what comes next? And the changes you can expect if you're heading to opening day at Del Mar, the racetrack, getting ready for a big day, welcoming back fans. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News starts now with breaking news.
And we do start with some breaking news here. Earlier this morning, this scene unfolding a few miles off the coast of Carlsbad. Boat engulfed in flames at sea. Sky 10 could only get so close, but you can see that smoke billowing from the hull. Now, we're told Encinitas lifeguards and the Coast Guard were on scene to help. No word on any injuries or rescues at this point, but we'll monitor the situation and update you as we learn more about it. And good day to you. Great to have you with us. I'm Jim Patton. Today marks the day of the official closure of the shelter at the convention center that housed thousands of unaccompanied migrant children. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell is there live. And Marie, officials say all of these children are now in homes.
Yeah, Jim, so today signals the end of the shelter efforts here at the convention center. In terms of the kids, majority of them are with either their parents or other family members, and there are some in foster care. For 95 days, the inside of the San Diego Convention Center became home to more than 3,000 unaccompanied children who came from Central and South America. Majority were picked up near the ports of entry in Texas. They were either flown or taken by bus to San Diego. The children stayed there from a week to a month, depending on their situation and how easily they could be reunited with family members.
And we provided a whole suite of trauma-informed services for the kids, from educational services, legal services, medical, dental, vision screenings.
Thursday morning, local, state, and federal leaders from our area gathered to officially wrap up the shelter. Displayed behind them, artwork and notes the children left behind.
This was their Ellis Island. This was their Statue of Liberty. This is where they came because they needed help, and San Diegans stepped forward.
In total, there were 3,213 kids who are now back with their parents, legal guardians, or other family members across the country. Officials say of that number, less than 30 of them were put in foster care because family couldn't be found. Officials say there are conversations that are happening that could call on San Diego to help out once more. Officials wouldn't really get into details on what that could entail, but the federal government described the San Diego shelter as a success. In terms of what's next for the convention center, they are preparing for the return of conventions, which is scheduled to happen in a few weeks. Live from downtown, Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Marie, thank you very much. Well, today, the woman accused of shooting and killing her husband, who was a local pastor, will make her first appearance in court. Sheriff's Department says that Gabriella Shepard called 911 Monday to say that she had shot her husband, Noah. Deputies found him in the backyard with a gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. Deputies say Gabriella told them that she thought Noah was an intruder, but investigators later went back and arrested her on suspicion of murder. Noah was a pastor at the San Diego Reformed Presbyterian Church. It's a push to clean up California's highways and create more jobs. Caltrans kicking off its hiring event this morning, part of the governor's comeback plan following the pandemic. ABC 10 News reporter Natay Holmes joining us live from the event. And Natay, jobs, a big part of that comeback plan, and this is also a big effort, as we said, to clean up our roadways.
Jim, the state is kicking off a $1 billion effort to clean up trash and graffiti along our California highways, and this will bring dozens of jobs here to San Diego County. We are at the Caltrans District 11 job hiring event right now. You can see applicants lined up, ready to go in. We spoke with some of them, and they say they are finally able to see the bright side of things after COVID put so many out of work.
Gives me hope. You know, the pandemic brought a lot of people to a dark place. Maybe a lot of people lost hope, and this is a great way to show that things are still moving forward, and we're gonna get back on track any way we can.
Over 11,000 jobs will be added across the state. Caltrans says they are looking to hire more than 50 people from today's hiring event. At-risk youth and people who were formerly homeless or incarcerated will be given priority for the jobs created by the 3-year program.
We can clean California.
Mayor Alejandra Sotelo Solis of National City helped kick off the event by addressing the large crowd of applicants. The cleanup effort will not only create jobs, it will help with the beautification of communities across the county.
These jobs will be in the front lines fighting our fight against litter. These employees will be out in the state highway system, identifying areas that need to be cleaned up, turning areas that may be unsightly into areas that we can all take pride of.
Salaries will be approximately $35,000, including benefits. And for people who weren't able to make it, Caltrans leaders say they can still contact them to apply.
And as we see more people cleaning up our highways in the coming weeks, the Caltrans director is asking everyone to just drive safe and, of course, watch out for those workers on the side of the road. In Old Town, Nate Holmes, ABC 10 News.
Well, some financial relief is on the way for millions of families today. The first of the American Rescue Plan child tax credit payments are hitting bank accounts. Those who qualify could get up to $300 a month per child through December. Financial experts are reminding parents to save some of that money if possible, in case the IRS, going off of older tax documents, gives you more money than you may be owed, and you may have to pay back that difference. Here in San Diego, 9 out of 10 families are eligible for this benefit. Meanwhile, a spike in COVID cases across the country as the Delta variant spreads, and now the government and health officials working to convince holdouts to get vaccinated. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Calls for more Americans to get vaccinated growing louder as the Delta variant races across the country. Angela Morris's 13-year-old daughter, Kaya, fighting the virus in the hospital.
I really want parents to know that getting your children vaccinated is obviously better than the situation we're in right now.
Some health experts say they're seeing more severe symptoms in children who test positive for the Delta variant, though data shows it's unclear if it's deadlier.
People who are unvaccinated are more likely to get severe symptoms and end up in the hospital. And what we're seeing now is that children are now more likely to be unvaccinated.
Utah has no mandatory COVID protocols in place. Officials there are now investigating COVID outbreaks at 10 different summer camps in 1 week.
It's just perhaps a glimpse of what's to come for the school year.
A troubling trend of new cases causing concern across the country, with positive tests rising nearly 87% since mid-June. In Los Angeles, cases are up 500% over the past month. Officials there say all patients hospitalized at county-run facilities are unvaccinated. Meantime, with Tennessee facing low vaccination rates, Memphis Children's Hospital will now require all staff members to get their shots. If not, they could face termination. Vaccine hesitancy still preventing many from doing so. This mother and son in North Carolina now doing their part to educate others after they both battled the virus in the hospital.
That it is not worth not taking the vaccine because of what it can do to your family.
In his first advisory to the American people, the U.S. Surgeon General issuing a warning about health misinformation, saying it's an urgent threat to public health and puts lives at risk by essentially scaring people out of getting their shots. In recent months, 67% of unvaccinated adults have heard at least one vaccine myth. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
We are just a day away from the kickoff of the summer horse racing season. It's going to be a big day at Del Mar. This year's racing season will come with some changes. In other years, the track averaged about 40,000 fans in attendance, but this year they say only about 16,000 will be allowed in for COVID safety reasons. Tickets for the prestigious Breeders' Cup Horse Racing Championships will go on sale tomorrow. First post is at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and we're going to have complete coverage all morning, everything that you need to know. So tune in to ABC 10 News at 11 tomorrow for that and in the morning.